and we're jamming. Aloha, Kamaka Brown on the porch with the Sin Crew. What's up, everybody? We have Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart on the porch right here with the Samajala Network Sin Crew, and helping me with this group here is none other than Samajala Network's two hula sisters over here. We have Pualalia Hana Mai Kai from Hawaii, Big Island. What's up, Pua?
Aloha, Uncle.
Welcome.
I like this kind. It makes me feel so close to you folks instead of in the country where I every day.
And another Samajala Network Ohana is Marie Clark. She's in the valley. What's up, Marie?
Aloha. Aloha, Kako. Aloha. Hi, Marie.
Hello, Marie.
So,
hi.
And
hi, Bubba.
trying very hard to be a hula sister is all the way from Long Beach. He goes by the name of Bubba. What's up, Bubba?
What's up, family?
Hi.
How's it, guys?
Bubba is, we invited Bubba earlier, and we'll be talking a little bit more on some things that Bubba will share with us tonight, too. Rolling in all the way from San Diego, you work for Nissan.
Honda.
Honda, oh, my bad.
Company, same thing. Competitor.
He is an amazing brother from San Diego. He works with us when we do our Sin Crew radio show down in San Diego. None other than we call him Boy-san. There he is right there. What's up?
How's it?
Hey.
So is it a helpful Honda moment?
Yeah.
It's a helpful Honda. Absolutely.
I get special today.
He gets special. Yeah, he gets special.
Special ed, you mean?
All the way from
Nissan Price.
all the way from Canyon Country up Santa Clarita way is none other than Kavika Dikoskas. What's up, Kavika?
Hey, aloha, everybody. Welcome.
Aloha.
We're going to definitely ask Kavika to play some music for us tonight as well. Okay. This brother I met lives in Long Beach. He is a DJ. He spins vinyl at clubs in Long Beach. None other than brother Lono. What's up, Lono?
Lono.
Hey. Hi, Lono.
Right.
Aloha.
I know when I met Lono, he says, I'm a DJ. He goes, but I only spin vinyl. I went, wow, this brother is old school. I love it, man.
That's impressive.
And this brother I love dearly. Spent some time. We've worked on projects together. He plays guitar. He plays bass. He plays a sound system. He's very talented. None other than brother Bob Naluwai. What's up, Bob?
Hey,
Bobby.
hey, Bob.
Hey, Bobby. Like your harmonies.
Yeah. We've heard his beautiful, he's worked with a number of groups, and he's performed down in San Diego at the Ho'olaulea. And we've worked on a number of projects together. And big mahalo to Bobby Nalawai for all of your support, brother. Mahalo.
Amen.
Amen. Mahalo for your kokoa.
I got some great friends of mine. I've met them maybe over 10, 15 years ago. They're from Kailua Kona. They were on the Princess cruise ships. They've been entertainers on the Princess cruise ship for the last 8 years. They found themselves in the middle of the coronavirus. They are now quarantined at the Mira Mesa Marine Base down in San Diego. Rowena and Brian Vasquez. What's up, guys?
Aloha.
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 So what, Brian?
What's up, family?
Oh, right there. Oh.
Brian, did you ever get your
Brian,
you ever got your Vienna sausage or what?
No, but check this out. Wait,
I gotta show you.
Uh-oh.
How we?
What is
Come on your Porch.
this is
I got the gift from the God.
Oh, you got some rice.
Rice.
Oh my God.
Hey, the baga said cooked sticky white rice.
It's like kind of microwave rice, Brian.
And then one brother would bring me like 10 scoops of rice from L&L today.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
very nice.
Yeah.
Well, for you, 8 for her. All right.
Well, welcome, you guys. Glad to have you with us, man. Coming out of his car, he was in his cave in his car, and he has finally made it home. A good brother of mine, and he's up in Lancaster, California, Mr. Bobby Agnew. What's up, Bobby?
Hey,
Aloha.
Bobby's a wonderful musician as well. He plays 12-string guitar, he plays 6-string, he plays bass, and plays the phonograph really well too. Talented, Bobby.
I was gonna say he plays numbers too.
3 speeds.
Good numbers, that one.
I met this young lady maybe about a year ago. Came down to one of our shows that we had in Fullerton, and we were talking story. And as it turns out, she knows cousin Lopaka Brown, and she said, "Are you the same Browns and Browns?" I went, "Yeah, he's Lopaka, I'm Kamaka, and this is Nancy." What's up, Nancy? What's up, Nancy?
Aloha, Nancy.
Aloha, Nancy.
Nancy.
Aloha,
Nancy.
Nancy.
Aloha, people.
Oh, there you. Oh, there
Where
you.
are you again?
Aloha.
Come
Nancy,
she hiding?
Only
Nancy,
see eyeballs.
Nancy, you are
Yeah, where's Nancy?
I could only
Nancy's
see her hair.
Gone, I think.
She's on
On the
mute.
right side. On the right side.
You got to unmute yourself.
Right
Yes,
side. So
yes.
that's that side, eh?
Yeah, opposite.
There she is.
Opposite of the wrong side.
She got
Right.
a little bit.
Hey, Nancy, you
I'm
there?
eating dinner, so I'm kind
Where's Stay?
Oh, she's eating dinner. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, potluck.
we like sushi.
Potluck.
Another talented musician, and his manager, promotions director, and basically his boss is here.
Stop it.
Consuela and Kamaki
No,
Kiabi.
ask girlfriend, you know it's true.
Welcome, you guys. Welcome.
Hello, everybody.
No, that's the kite.
There
That's
you
the
go.
kite, Rody.
It's called Brody. Yeah, Baba, right? I carry the mic.
Guys, you forget it. Rody now.
Yeah.
Raja.
Yeah. Coming out of Paramount, California is a brother that I've got to meet, and he and his wife, Patricia, have come out to several of our Sandwich Island Network events, and we like to hang out in Auntie Miley's and talk story, is none other than Marty Burns. What's up, brother Marty?
Aloha, everyone.
Marty.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Kunani Burns.
Yeah.
Marty.
You know Kanani,
Marty, you related to Kunani. Kunani Burns.
but I know I'm not related to him, but I know him.
Oh, shoot.
Muriel and Carl Kahela are on board over here. They're
Aloha.
dear friends as well. Aloha, you guys.
Aloha. Two of
How's
my
it?
favorite people.
Delay thing. Aloha. Delay.
Aloha.
Aroha.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So
Okay, poor.
one of the things that we really wanted to do on the porch, was just talk story. There's so many things. We're bombarded by so much negativity on news, on television, on the internet, and whatever's. How nice it would be just to gather with Hawaiians and Hawaiians at heart and just talk story. We laugh, we play some music. Just like we did back in the islands, smoking time, we sat on the porch with the family, right? And we just talk story and vala'au and stuff like that, One thing I think that we all love to do is, and I want to talk about food for a little bit.
Where?
Let's talk about food. Let's talk about food. I want to start with Consuela. Now, Consuela,
Adobo.
I got
Come in your house.
something special for you. Come on.
what you got, bro?
Something
What you
special.
got?
I'm gonna go get it right now because you won vegetarian. Hang on.
Oh,
Mila Melon.
So
On blast.
So it's black dog adobo.
No, for health reasons, 3 years ago, I became a vegetarian purely for health reasons. Somebody told me, bro, if you're a vegetarian, we got to kick you out of the Kanaka club, bro. You cannot be in the club, bro. but strictly for health reasons, you know, I had just gout really bad, really bad.
Too much meat.
Yeah, and I
There you go,
realized.
Kamaka.
This is for
All right.
you.
For you.
Oh, what you got, Consuela? How fancy! Look at that. Ooh.
Can
This,
deliver.
oh,
Ooh.
this is my tagine.
Freshly
And
made.
I wish I could bring this over to you right now because I made this just for you. It's
Wow.
couscous and butternut
Yes.
squash
Whoa.
and
Missy.
peas and tomatoes.
Oh, can we? Yeah. Lono, can you smell
Come
it?
out.
And cinnamon.
There you go, Lono. You get on, Lono.
Yeah.
Is this like smell-o-vision?
Yeah.
I
So I was thinking of you, my dear. Made
Aw.
something vegetarian tonight.
Wow.
Consuela,
Come get your plate.
Consuela, just repeat now what it is that you created over there. Tell us about the dish.
This is my favorite tool in the kitchen. It's a tagine, and it does
Bless
that.
you.
So basically, anything that you put in, it just kind of steams up. And, usually, I do Mediterranean cooking, but the squash sounded like a really good thing for a really cold night like tonight, and the couscous and the kale and all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have to make it again when we're a little bit closer, so, so we can actually eat it together.
Did you? Was there any curry in there or no?
I don't like curry.
Yeah, she hate curry.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
who's
wait.
couscous? Where he from? Who's couscous?
Couscous, the couscous.
Greek.
But couscous
Spain.
is Mediterranean. Is it a Mediterranean? Is it a starch? Yeah.
It's a grain.
It's a
Yeah.
grain. Okay.
Tiny. It's tiny little things of grain.
It's supposed to be better than the white rice.
Right.
It's smaller. It's a smaller grain than the rice.
And you know what? Kamaka will even eat it
Ooh.
Ooh.
because he hates vegetables. So he might even eat this.
Would you liken the couscous to like quinoa? Is that similar to quinoa or no?
Yeah, I would say.
It's
Similar.
like quinoa.
Okay.
And in fact, I have some quinoa in this too, along with the
Okay.
kale.
All
So
right.
I got about hot.
It's hot.
What's
Come on,
the matter?
touches
What's wrong?
it. It's like hot.
No
Oh,
touchy,
look, play now.
No, I think you got to
Go
open
ahead.
it up again because we want to get a whiff. Open it up again because
Okay.
Okay.
Got it?
everybody.
Get ready, Lono. Ready.
There we go.
Inhale.
Ready?
Yeah.
Me that?
Ooh.
You guys, I should have made it with curry for all of you guys, yeah?
You look up for me.
Yeah. But you know what? I even brought you dessert.
No.
Oh,
I
wait,
even
come on
brought all
now.
of you guys dessert.
Want everybody dessert?
Yeah.
What? Hello.
No. Chocolate cake with strawberries.
Oh.
Chocolate cake with strawberries.
That's gluten-free.
Wow.
Some lava cake with strawberries.
Oh, good to see you.
Hey,
I ate
you know
dinner
what?
already.
Hey, bro, that's blasphemy right now.
That's torture.
Right?
Yeah, Hawaiian video. That's torture.
Oh my goodness.
Being brutal.
Well, the pork pies don't mind if we start, huh?
Okay, Consuela, why would you show us that and we cannot have them?
Yeah.
Like I said, she's brutal, brah. Brutal.
You guys never eat.
Convulsions already.
You guys never eat.
Come
Yeah.
on, let's see you eat it.
I had cornbread.
So Consuela, you made that. It's a chocolate molten cake you made. Is that a molten?
Yeah, with strawberries.
Oh, I love that with fresh strawberries on top.
Yeah,
Wow.
because we need some chocolate tonight.
Absolutely.
We all need some chocolate tonight.
It's
right?
molten like the islands. It's molten.
Chocolate.
I love you, eh? I love you.
There you go.
Aw.
I thought it was molten like this chicken I get in the backyard. No,
Oh, that's the Filipino one.
Not the rooster. The chicken.
different kind molten. Different kind molten. Oh dear. Oh dear. So Consuela, what is your background in cooking? I mean, is it just a natural hobby, or you do this? You've done it professionally, or tell us a little bit about your background with cooking.
Well, you know, a big Filipino family and a mommy who was an outstanding cook. She was just great. So she kind of taught us all, and we all just cooked together. My kids are really great cooks, and just love it. It kind of takes the stress out. Especially when Kamaki does the dishes. Yeah.
Only do plates. Only do plates. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch out, you don't use soap sometimes. You put cheese.
Well, and then Consuela, you also work at a how would you describe what you do for work?
I moonlight at a really high Kamaka kind of place called Serlatop. It has all these really expensive cooking stuff that
Yeah.
it's really fun to do. Like,
Guess how much this? Guess how much this burger? Guess how much this burger?
No, it's just fun because we get to cook all day. That's all we do. We just cook all day. So
If we go, Consuela, if we go, get Kama rates.
absolutely.
Yeah, double the price for you, boy son.
Don't forget your Hawaii State ID.
Yeah.
You know what I miss most? I miss our dinner parties with my dear sister Pua. We had some awesome dinner parties.
Let's be honest, it wasn't dinner. It was all about the 3-4 bottles of wine that we had. Let's be honest.
Okay, hold up. Hold up,
Dan.
everybody. Hold up. We just had Manu Ohana just joined us. Aloha. Can we hear?
Aloha, Dan.
Aloha.
Welcome.
What's up, Dan?
Hey, Dan.
Good to see you, Dan.
How you doing?
Oh, you're
What's going on?
Well, welcome aboard. Nice to have you, Dan. We're just talking about food over here, and Consuela brought some wonderful couscous.
I can't. I got stuff to do.
What would you call that dish?
It's a tagine. It's a tagine dish. It's just couscous and butternut squash and kale and chickpeas and all that other stuff that you eat. That was especially for you, Kamaka.
You know, I do have a special recipe for kale. When you put it in a saute pan, you add coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it really easy to slide it into the trash can.
Right into the trash.
You used to make follow something with kale.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
So, well, you know, talking about food over here, I think it was just this morning, Boyson down in San Diego, he posted a picture of his, let me see, you had Portuguese sausage, you had steak, rice.
Yeah.
And, who made that breakfast for you? You.
Yeah, so it was like corned beef with eggs, onions, on top of rice, and Portuguese sausage for my family.
Okay, so we come check.
We used to eat canned food too much, and tonight they wanted to eat Vienna sausage and spam.
I like Vienna sausage. Give me Vienna sausage.
Bro, that's good any time of the day.
Hey, if you stay in San Diego, throw them over the fence.
Someone new just joined us on the porch over here. Who just joined us?
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi, Dan.
Hi.
Oh, Dan and Angie.
Hi, welcome.
Hey, aloha.
Welcome.
Porch.
Nice to have you up on the porch with us, guys. We just being Kolohe, we just being rascal over here. So, Boyson, what do you usually cook, or does
we take turns? We take turns. Yeah.
So what would you say is your favorite dish over there?
Oh, I try. My kitchen is like my science lab. So my family, they're all like my guinea pigs. So I'll take like traditional dishes from Hawaii and I'll kind of change it up a little bit.
Hey there.
Oh, like add mayo.
Yeah. Well, my parents used to have a lunch wagon back in the 60s. It was called Puamana, and we used to sell food at the beaches in Haleiwa, at the chicken field. So my mom, being Samoan, she learned how to cook Filipino food because my dad's the Filipino side. And my dad would learn Samoan stuff. So they'd cook that stuff and anything, Japanese, Hawaiian, you name it. Learn from them.
When I first met Boyson, he told me he's Filipino Samoan. I said, "Wow, man, you must have some interesting food at your house, brah." I'll tell you.
All the time.
Filipino Samoan.
Ah,
Yeah, look how big you look on the screen.
yes, sir.
Fuck
But
big, man.
people don't know. They don't think I'm just Filipino, but I have some. My mom's side,
Oh, okay. That's where Frank Dilima got Abdullah Fattah aided.
that's right.
So food is so much part of our culture over here, man. We love to cook. We love to make our local food. And even during this time in which people are scurrying around on what to make, local stylers, we don't really have a problem, right? We know how to make stuff, we call comfort food, right? No problem, right?
We just look across the street at the neighbor's dog.
Either that or the cat, bro.
That's Big Island for you.
Oh no, these guys from Big Island, you gotta.
Whoa. I might try shade Big Island side.
Hey. Hillside, Mountain View, Volcano, we go hunting, we catch the good ones.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, nowadays, you go down those places, everywhere you go inside the bushes, you're not catching animals, you're catching the tweakers, bro.
Yeah.
Brian, you're such a troublemaker, Brian. You see what you did? You already get the big. Oh man. So Bobby Nalawai, tell me, who does the cooking in your house? Does Judy?
Oh, they get the names right down here of whoever's
the cooker there, Bob.
No, I do most of the cooking.
You do most of the cooking?
Yeah, Jimmy will cook. Yeah, wow. Hey, you don't know, bro. Trust me.
So Bobby, what's your favorite dish you like to cook?
Yes.
Frozen dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I make stew. I make chili. I make fried chicken. I make pot roast.
Wow.
Yeah. You make rice.
Huh?
You make rice.
Not all the time. I'm diabetic.
Oh, okay.
Supposed to cut back. Oh, that's
Supposed to.
Yeah, shut up, Stanley.
Because I'm supposed to cut back too. Cut back. I don't know what I cut back, but I cut back.
A couple grains here and there, a couple grains.
So, Bobby,
wait a minute.
Bobby, you mentioned pot roast and stuff, and it seems like it's a fad now, this thing called Instapot. Who has Instapot? Anybody use Instapot?
I got one.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of that.
My wife loves that.
So, Bobby,
it's so good. It's so fast.
Bobby Agnew,
We're gonna use it 24/7.
The thing is the best.
It's the best.
I agree.
So, Bobby, what you cook? What you cook, Bobby Agnew? What you cook in your Instapot? You what?
I don't cook in my Instapot.
You don't cook in your Instapot.
Hey, Bobby, you're a ventriloquist.
I have an Instapot. You just said, who has an Instapot? So I went, okay, I have one. I never said I
Have one, for the sake of just having it.
I have an Instapot. I'm afraid to use it.
Oh, you gotta use we have one, and my wife has gotten that for Christmas, and she's used it since she's got it. And the bugger cook the food quickly, and the bugger is just no.
Oh,
Is it
We're
like
gonna blow that thing up with luau leaf.
Luau leaf, they pour luau, turn it on, forget it, let it go for hours.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah.
Just like one. Kamaka, the Instant Pot is just like one crock pot on turbo.
Oh, okay. It's like a slow cooker.
It's like a crock
Make
pot.
fun of the crock pot.
It's
I
like
still
one
use
crock
mine.
pot.
The crock pot always dries up. This one,
Yeah.
Crock pot on steroids.
So the Instapot does not dry out like a crock pot might.
Nope.
the crock pot dries out. Yeah.
Yeah. But the Instapot keeps everything moist and juicy.
Moist.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the meat fall off the bone.
Oh, mean, bro.
But aren't you afraid it's gonna blow its top? It won't.
It'll let you know when it's ready.
You can
See,
let out the pressure.
my mother cooked with one of those old pressure cookers, you know.
Yeah.
And I was always afraid of that.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is so different. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Hey,
Yeah,
you know,
I would recommend everybody buy one.
It's a good.
But you know what? I
Got them
gotta
from
tell
Costco
you,
for
I don't
30.
like the Instapot brand.
Yeah. You got a better brand?
Makes me numb.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I don't just get an electric pressure cooker. The Instapot brand, it only keeps it warm for like 4 hours after it turns off.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
Okay, but when a thing pot cook no last that long, the bugger gone already.
Exactly. Wow, we whacked that bugger. Right.
Who's food
What's gone in my house?
4 hours plenty.
You know, I'm sorry. I draw the line because terrorists use those pressure cookers to make bombs and stuff. So I don't want to deal with a pressure cooker.
No, you don't make bombs.
Instapot is a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
No pressure.
Instapot is not just a pressure cooker. It's a deep fry and everything.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
deep fry
fry,
chicken,
you can
anything.
cook rice.
You can cook rice inside a bugger.
You can cook rice inside.
Now,
Makes
Bubba,
good
Bubba
food,
should
too.
know because Bubba works for Walmart, so he knows where the Instapots stay.
You
Oh,
can make
automatic, bro. Automatic.
you can make huli chicken without huli-huliing them.
So Nancy.
Hey, I gotta go, guys. That's all.
Okay, Bobby.
It was nice. Hey, you know, Kamaka, I think this is a really good idea on the
Aw,
board.
thanks, brother.
Nice to hang
Yeah.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
To many more.
Love you, bro.
I gotta go because I gotta work tomorrow. I work government parts, so I gotta make parts for the government.
Okay, well, well thanks for coming up on the porch. man.
All right, stay inside. You
Love
guys
you, brother.
all be safe. Aloha. I love you guys.
Okay, Agno.
Okay, Bobby.
Aloha.
Aloha, brother.
Okay.
Aloha.
Lord God.
So Nancy, you say you have an Instapot, but you've never used it. Is that what I heard?
It's Angie, and yeah. Because my daughter-in-law gave it to me. I'm like, I'm afraid to use this thing.
Oh,
I
use it.
get it out.
So
We have so much time right now. I guess I should pull it out and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Very
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
it seems like we have folks that are on the porch here that recommended, and
Yeah.
they look like they survived using it. Nobody is
Say get it.
Stick in my eyebrows.
No pressure. No pressure. Pressure. Okay.
I don't know. About 2 weeks ago, Boysa never have eyebrows, so I didn't know what that was about.
Yeah, no stand too close.
Did
Samoan.
you
It's a
shave
Samoan
the
look.
eyebrows for the Miss Sampagita Panchi?
That's right.
You know what? I think now is a very good time for us to have a little musical segue over here. You know, Kamaka Keave.
Yeah, how's it?
Putting all jokes aside, putting all jokes aside, I really respect this brother. Very talented. He is a kumu ukulele teacher. He has a number of students, and I think one of the things, the fallout from being in this situation with the virus, that he cannot get together with his students, and I know his haumana, his ukulele haumana, miss him very much. And although he can do internet kind stuff and whatever's, it doesn't take the place of up close and personal. But we understand that. And also, Kamaki is a full-time musician. He plays at a number of places, and you can enjoy him once everything passes over here. Go down to Duke's 100 Beach, and it's just awesome. Well loved by the community as well. So at Kamaki, how you doing, brother? Talk to us, man. How you doing with your music?
Taking a pause right now.
Yeah.
They shut down all the buildings, all the restaurants, all the community centers, so hard for teacher.
Yeah, but he can clean the garage now.
No, yeah.
Oh, what's that? Yeah, gotta get rid of all the shoes.
I did a walkway. Walkway now.
So here's what I'd like to do is, you guys have a mute button. Please put your mute button on so we can hear. We don't have any interruption with when Kamaki plays, because that's just how this technology works. Kamaki, why don't you do a couple songs for us so we can enjoy, and we're gonna just kick back and just enjoy your voice, your music right now. Please share with us a makana of your music, brother. We would enjoy it very much.
Like I pressed my mute button too.
No.
Press your mute button.
I don't know where my mute button is.
Paul, you like dance?
Nah.
Ooh. I think everybody knows this song. Oh, hey, avaleoe, kule nani, ho'i mai no kaua, a e pili. Oh, hey, avaleoe, kule nani, ho'i mai no kaua, a e pili. Kola, ko aloha ka ua e, I pohi nei, haku I ku I e ha, I ko umana o. Ano ai, ano ai ka pilina, hoi na ole, e leia e oe, I ku ule. Haina, haina ia mai, ana kapuana, ho'i mai no kaua, a e pili. Haina ia mai, ana kapuana, ho'i mai no kaua, a e pili.
That's beautiful.
All right.
Kamaki, tell us a little bit about your musical background. I mean, what were your influences coming up, playing music?
My mother wouldn't teach me.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow, bro. Straight to the point there, bro.
My mother
That's deep. Deep.
No more second paragraph.
Yeah, my mother is my first, well, actually, she's my second influence. My first influence was my Filipino neighbor. Because when I came home from school, 4th grade, I cut the corner, I hear this sound. It was so unbelievable. I don't know what that sound was.
What was it with the Filipino sticks?
No. Wasn't the tinkling? No. I never heard that one ukulele before. Yeah, 4th grade. Never heard of ukulele before, not knowing that was an ukulele. So my Filipino neighbor playing, because his brother used to work for, the brother had polio, yeah? So Kamaka ukulele would hire handicapped people, because they knew how to get the sound from the wood. So he playing, and I come up to him, and I was looking at him, and so he told me, hey, you like try? I go, okay. So I grabbed the ukulele, he gave me the ukulele, and I played left hand. So I'm left ear. So first thing he told me, hey, bro, you playing them wrong. Oh, you know, small kids, first impression, yeah? Oh, sorry. So I turned on right hand and never taught to go back left. I don't know why. So that was my first influence. Second influence was my mother. Yeah, so, you know, small kid time, I shot that my mother taught, even though she's 5 feet. And I'm looking at my mother, you know, looking at my mother, and she playing all this kind of stuff on the ukulele, because I brought the ukulele home. I go, oh, Ma, teach me, Ma, teach me. She go, okay, boy, okay. Watch and listen. That's all she told me.
That's
You
the
know,
way.
okay, put your finger over here, put your finger,
Yeah.
dude. Wasn't like that. Just watch and listen. Best advice I ever got. So till today, I still do that. You know,
Wow.
from all these other, like brother over there. I don't can see. Brother Brian, yeah. Watch Brother Brian when he play. Who's that over there? Poor, yeah. Watch Poor when she play. Yeah, so watch it and listen. Yeah. Oh, and brother Nalua, yeah, him too. Oh, and brother Kavika over there. All you musicians out there. Yeah. So watch and listen. Yeah, that's all. That's all. Oh, so after that, the 70s, Sunday Manoa came in the picture. So Peter Boone, Sunday Manoa, that's my other influence. After that, who was that? My metal shop teacher in high school, Hawaiian Chinese man, Mr. Chang, one of the best ukulele players back in the days. After that, it's all open. Anybody and everybody.
That's the how, and that's why I love listening to you, Mr. Naloi, and Oahu. You know what I mean, and also the Malao that and I try to do what I can. But mahalo nui for what you guys do, bro.
So, Kamaka, you mentioned something quite interesting, and I learned this when talking with Chris Kamaka at NAM this past January, and telling a little bit about the history of Kamaka ukuleles. And he was saying that, Kamaka ukulele did something that nobody else was doing, and this was back in the late 40s, early 50s, and into the early 60s, that they were hiring I won't hesitate to use the word handicap, but challenged, disabled folks, blind, right? And they taught them how to feel the wood of the ukulele for thickness and for the vibrations on it. Is that correct?
Yeah, what they would do is tap, tap the wood, but see, because they get good hearing, because they can see, some get, whatever the situation. So they go by feel, yeah? So they can feel the vibration from the wood, and that's how somehow they know, oh, yeah, take this one. Oh, put this on a B stock. Yeah, A stock, B stock. So that's how they know, just from tapping. I mean, you see this chopping board, yeah? No more sound, yeah? Yeah, no more sound. I mean, get sound, but no more the vibration, yeah, because the wood's so thick.
Yeah.
When you tap the ukulele or the wood, I don't know if you can hear, but the bugs are echoing right now.
Yeah.
That's how they do them. That's how they did them. Yeah. Just for the vibration.
He was
sensitive to touch.
He was saying that, Chris was saying that those ukuleles that were made in those years, late 40s, early 50s, command an amazing price right now. They are collector's items because they are some of the best that Kamaka ukulele ever made, and it was because of those guys that they had hired.
And if you do find them, I do buy them.
Yeah.
Who said that?
That's
Who
Brian.
I have a ton of them at home, but I still like some more.
Oh.
Oh, Kamaki get choked too, bro. No worry, he get choked.
Uh-oh.
That's why he cannot clean out the garage, because all his ukuleles and guitars stay in there.
That's true. That's no lie.
Kamake, how about another tune? How about another song for us, Kamake?
Oh, let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do this one. I haven't do this for a long time. I need the words. Shall we?
Hey, take your time. Hurry up.
Okay, hurry up.
And we can't Kanakapila. That would have been so nice if everybody could join.
Yeah, it would be.
Would have been so nice.
Oh, Kamaki, pick one that Dan and Carl can play with you.
Oh, yeah. Dan, Carl, Miro, you get your ukuleles?
But you can't do it at the same time.
Oh, but you can't do it at the same time. Yeah.
Oh, well.
So you know what? They can just mute and play along while you play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're playing the same thing.
We don't know how to.
Oh, they don't know, bro.
I gotta change ukulele, Joey.
See, look. You get more than one.
Get you off.
Yeah.
I think we just.
So this song is about the Manu O'o bird, yeah? It's extinct already, yeah? It's extinct already.
I remember that one from the Kai. Mukahi.
Oh,
Remember that one?
that's right. No, we did the tape.
Sad because I saw on this history film the last Manu O'o bird, and was
Daryl,
a male, was a
don't
study.
end this thing.
And when you hear
I
the
wanted to
sound
say
of the
bye, but
bird,
this thing
that's the
can't
bird,
come out.
and he's calling for a partner, but there's no partner because he's the last one. You know, he's the last. So I saw this film document. So the Manu O'o bird, you know, calling for, you know, for mate there. Whee, whee, whee. But you know, there's no answer because he's it. He's it. And after that, gone, extinct.
That's funny. That's how
So-
I call my wife in the market.
Yeah, true story. True story.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah. So, okay, Baba, you can stop now. So true story, but that's why I love this song just for that alone. Yeah. So I get my throat a little bit kind of. Was that the buzzer?
Excuse me.
Mute me.
Oh, come on. Oh, malama. Ahenani ko ulu keleya. Ukiki ana oi kapua lewa. Kaya ana oe ikanu imanu. Oh my, oni mai, ko aloha maneya, ki hele lehua. Oh, Baba Hilo, e ka ua kani lehua. Kopohe lehua, aihana kahi. O kahi, au mea nui aia oe. O ko aloha, ka ihi ki mai. O mai, oni mai, ko aloha maneia, ki hele lehu.
Yes.
What a beautiful song.
Beautiful.
Uy, ele. Siguro ka mo
Oh, Lono, what
They still with the girls.
look at Lono has the 45 of that song right there, Lono.
Wow.
Wow.
No way.
Lono,
Who's the artist on there, Lono?
Yeah, who is the artist?
Johnny Kalani Watkins.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Johnny Watkins.
Johnny Watkins.
When was that press?
Bro, that's more old than. Never mind.
You.
So
I just sang the song, bro. I just sang them.
Lono,
Press, Lono.
that's a nice little segue to Lono, because if you missed my little introduction, I met Lono middle part of last year, and at a Kima West and Ken Emerson Slackers in Paradise over at Halikipa. A lot of our friends there. In fact, we have some of the Halikipa crew over here with Dan and
Carl, Muriel.
Carl and Muriel. So, and Lono is, aside from working, you work at a ukulele factory, guitars.
Oh, a guitar strap company.
He works for a guitar strap company in Long Beach. But in addition to that, one of his passions is being a DJ. And when I met him, he says, "Oh, I spin only vinyl, and I mixed in, classic Polynesian music, Hawaiian music into my mixes and stuff." Lono, tell us a little bit about your family. There's some interesting things about your family I think be really nice to share. That our friends would, our ohana on the porch here tonight would enjoy. So Lono, you have the microphone. Share with us a little bit about your family and about what you do and about your passion for music.
Well,
That's cool. I don't want to get sick.
well, my great-grandparents came out from Oahu about 1913, and they were entertainers. My great-grandfather, Sam Punahelu Nainoa, and his wife, Eugenia, came out to seek work in the vaudeville circuit. And they were only going to come out for a few months, and they ended up staying here because the work was just so good for Hawaiians at that time. And they ended up having, my aunt was born in, I believe, Los Angeles, and then my grandmother was born in Chicago. So they're just like touring all over the country at that time. And through them, I didn't realize that at the time, but that's how my love of music came about. My parents had guitars all over the house. They had guitars because their parents had guitars, so on and so forth. So, but in the last year, I really focused in on like my Hawaiian roots, and I was learning steel guitar, and I took some lessons from Alan Akaka, and I only knew a handful of Hawaiian songs. And the lessons, when I took lessons with him last year, he said, well, obviously as a musician, you need to learn the song before you learn the song. And there was a record store shop in San Francisco near where he was at, and I just found a stack of Hawaiian records, and I just kept collecting. These are just some of the 45s I have.
Wow.
And
right on.
From that, it's like I've learned all the songs. I know it in my head, and now I just need to apply it to the steel. And yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
A little bit of history,
bro.
A little bit of
That's
history
cool.
about the steel guitar as well, right, Lono?
I'm sorry?
A little bit of history about the steel guitar with one of your...
Oh, yeah. Joseph K. Kuku, the inventor of the steel guitars from Laie, which is where the Nainoa family is from. And he was Hanai'd by the Nainoas, and he basically was raised alongside my great-grandfather. They were both like a couple years apart. We learned how to play music together. My great-grandfather played violin. Joseph played Spanish guitar, and they both kind of influenced each other on the steel guitar. Like Joseph's, the accidental like dropping of the comb or whatever bar he had on the guitar, and it had that smooth sound. And it kind of sounded like the violin that Samuel was playing. So they were jamming on the corners in Laie trying to finesse this sound, and it exploded,
Yeah, so they were both at Kamehameha at
Yes,
Kamehameha. Yeah. So, if you look up the history of the steel guitar, it's quite interesting. Joseph Kekuku is credited with kind of inventing the steel guitar. He actually took a comb and slid it across, the keys for that slide effect. And you can pretty much look up in any, in fact, there's a reference material that I shared with Lono that has the history of Hawaiian music. Ah, there you go. That's a beautiful book right there. Hawaiian
Nice
music.
and thick.
Yeah. I have that copy. Lono has that copy. It is the ABC of the history of Hawaiian music. And you can look up the origins of all the different kinds of music. And it's quite interesting because they took Kekuku took his version of the steel guitar to the World's Fair in San Francisco, was it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Something like that, right? And it was just after the turn of the century, and the thing just blew up. People were wondering where this strange sound came from. It was so wonderful, and it was almost like a violin, like he was saying, right? Because he could slide between the chords and stuff. So it's quite an interesting history. And meeting Lono was really amazing because his ohana, in 1913 and into the early centuries, were very much responsible for spreading Hawaiian music throughout the mainland back in the early days. And here we have several generations later, we got Lono right here on our call tonight. So it's so amazing, Lono. Pretty amazing, brother. Thanks for sharing that, man. Pretty good. So yeah, as we listen to different kinds of Hawaiian music, coming from the Big Island. Brian, you got your ukulele over there, Brian? Where's your ukulele? It's always not very far from you. I know, he can just reach right.
Stuck to his hip. What you talking about?
He's like, right here.
Right?
I met Brian maybe 10, 12 years ago. He and Rowena, Charlie Ki'aha introduced me to, the late Charlie Ki'aha introduced me to the both of them. And this was he had like an ukulele festival or something in Fullerton, I think it was. Yeah. When I first saw this guy, and I saw Brian shred, and I said, and he was playing like Santana stuff and on that ukulele. And I was going, this guy is the Hawaiian Santana. Look at this guy, And so for the past 8 years, Brian and Rowena have been on the Princess Cruise Lines, entertaining, and
spreading their aloha.
And as I said, if you missed it, Brian and Rowena are at their quarantine in San Diego at Miramar Marine Base. And so they're just hanging out over there, and really special to have them on board. On the porch, yeah. And so, Brian, what were your influences with the ukulele, man? How did you? What kind of what was it that kind of grabbed you that's going to be your instrument?
He's got to unmute, Uncle.
Oh,
there we go. No, we get you.
I said unmute.
Okay.
I got you.
Got it.
Oh,
we went unmute you. We were unmute you.
I said unmute. Okay.
Unmute. So what kind
actually,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, honey. It was the beans. Oh.
Hawaiian. All that rice.
He had the pork and beans he was talking about the other day.
Oh, you guys.
Anyway, no, I guess I was kind of forced into it. Was my older brother. He told me that I better learn to play this thing or you're gonna slap my head.
Oh.
And he did.
So I guess you never get slapped then.
I would learn.
Yeah.
He used to hold the slipper. Every time I hit on wrong key, he whacked my hand with the slipper. But yeah, no, it was my oldest brother. He pretty much taught me how to play, and my dad and my grandpa as well. They were actually all four corners of my family was all musicians, all the way back to. I get one harp at home that is well over 100 years old.
Wow.
And my brother has a saxophone that I was supposed to get, but he didn't get it. But that's all right. that's over 100 years old too, And that's all from different parts of my family, and they was all musicians. So, yeah.
All right. All right. Play us some music, Brian. Share with us some ukulele mele over here.
Okay. Okay, this one song. If I can remember them. Oh, my brother and I when kind of composed. I think I was about 7. You know, it was like
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
surprised how
That one on 45 too.
it's sweating over here.
So
On a hole, cuz. On a hole.
yeah. Brian, tell us about your experience now. For the last 8 years, you've been associated with the Princess Cruise Lines. What has that been like for you and Rowena?
You know, you would think living in one 10 by, well, yeah, about 8 by 13-foot room, 2 weeks at a time or 28 days at a time, you would start to get into each other's throats. But this past 8 years has been really good, you know.
Only one time.
Only one time.
One time I had to kick him out of the room.
Yeah. She even kicked me out of the room, so I wouldn't go win money in the casino. And then she was mad at me. I never give her nothing.
Oh, way.
Good thing they have doghouse.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I knew I was in trouble because whenever he's all pissed off like that, he makes me dance all night long. And that night, every song. And then we get back to the room and he throws this thing on the bed. He goes, here. And I said, what is it? He goes, look at it. He's all, ugh. I said, if you want me to look at it, you just tell me what it is. He goes, you kicked me out of the room. So I went and won $1,600 at the casino. So what am I going to say then, right?
I love you, honey.
Love you, honey.
Rowena, you should kick them up more often.
That was an ISOS moment.
Hi, Sos Mario say.
I try now. I try to get mad so I can kick him out.
Amazing.
No, but it's been great. I mean, working on the ship has probably been the best thing we've ever done. You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
yeah,
It
you know,
really is.
and actually before we even started working on the ship, you know, we would always tell each other, you know, wouldn't it be great if we could go and work on a cruise ship? She was the one saying it.
Say that. He was like, yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, who's gonna mow the lawn? You know, who's gonna feed the dog?
$1,600 later.
Well, you've been doing it for 8 years, so the cruise company must love you guys. They keep having you come back. You're doing a great job. And so Brian, you play music, and Rowena, what is it that you do on board?
Everything Brian won't do.
Oh, so dance hula.
Yeah, well, he don't let me sing, so I don't let him dance hula.
Okay.
But, I lecture. I do a lot of lectures. I talk about the islands. I do a lot of history, a lot of culture. And then, of course, we have ukulele and hula lessons, which are, good fun. And then I always do, every day I do a Polynesian craft, some kind of a craft. And then we entertain at night. We do a couple sets at night. So busy day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus, I mean, really a lot of fun, you know, really a lot of fun because we really associate with the guest. I mean, you know, it's all about aloha, right? I mean, that's what life is all about aloha. So they start to learn what aloha is all about because I talk about it a lot.
Yeah, not just hello.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
It's not just a word. You guys actually put it out there. It has more meaning to it. So, you know, that's awesome.
Yes. So, so we have a lot of fun with them. And then they actually start to understand really what aloha is. I mean, even just us being here in quarantine when we first got here, I cannot tell you how many emails I got from people that wanted to bring us things, bring us food, anything that they could do to help.
But they couldn't get close to the fence.
Yeah, I couldn't get close enough to throw the stuff on the fence. They actually, you know, they really have us quarantined. They built a 6-foot chain link fence around the building.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know what they're worried about. I cannot even jump over on 3-foot fence.
Hey, start digging a tunnel, bro.
I don't know what
That makes 2 of us.
I bring my ladder. Hey, how much longer do you guys have to be there?
I think another
week.
six days or something.
Yeah, 6 or 7 days.
Yeah, I mean, no problem though. You know, we just I don't know. Today I was kind of like taking a nap all day. All day.
That's rough, man. That's rough.
So let me just ask you this. I mean, this adventure, if you will, with this, the situation that all of us are involved with now. But you guys were kind of like at the epicenter. I mean, the boat was on the cruise ship was on the news and all of that. But you put a human face to it all, and you're in the middle of that. How the fact that you're from Hawaii and that you're brought up around aloha, how did that affect you and the folks around you through all of this stuff that was happening on board?
I think for us, we just took it minute by minute. I mean, we understand that getting upset over something we have no control over is not going to help us any. It's not going to help anyone around us. And I think by passing that message on to the other guest and having them understand that, it's a situation where if it's potentially so hazardous to the rest of the public, that, hey, you know what? You give up a couple weeks of your life just to make sure that you don't infect other people. I mean, that's, another way of showing your aloha to people you love and people you don't even know. So I think that at first the initial reaction was people were in shock. And then as we talked about it, because I had the opportunity to talk to the crowd as it was all unfolding. And I think that gave them hopefully it gave them a different perspective.
Yeah, they put her on the big mic.
Yeah. they always put me on there.
You know the mic that go throughout the whole ship, and even in the staterooms. You know, when I heard her voice coming out of that thing, I was like, "Oh crap, what she did now?" But this is what she was talking about. You know.
Yeah, I mean, they do. They use me as the mouthpiece. But people, once they understand, once they can get out of themselves, their self-centeredness, and look around them, then they find the aloha in their heart, and then they demonstrate that aloha to other people. I mean, we have people here in quarantine. It got a little crazy for a while there, that even here in the quarantine, that people were starting to hoard food and hoard toilet paper. And, and so then just talking with them a little bit and getting them to understand that, hey, you know what? We can all make it through. We just have to stick together and we'll all make it through. And then things start to calm down a little bit, but they just have to see beyond themselves, that life is more than just you.
How true.
It's funny because whenever Rowena talks on the ship, especially in the beginning, when everybody getting on and stuff like that, you can see just like the darkness turn into light on the ship.
Amen.
Everybody come happy, and then but when I talk, I don't know, they no can hear me. I'm like
So okay, so let me tell you a story. So one time
oh crap.
One time we had to wait out at San Francisco Harbor, and it gets really cold out there. And I had gotten so cold the next day, I couldn't talk. I mean, I lost my voice. I felt fine. So I told Brian, I said, honey, you got to go do my talk. You got to go do my talk. And this is like on the big stage, right? The place holds like almost 1,000 people. And I said, yeah. And he was like, no, I don't want to go. Just go. I said, no, I cannot talk. So he went. And then I started getting calls to the stateroom. People were saying, your husband's a really funny guy, but we didn't learn a damn thing today.
Did Brian do it all in pigeon?
Just about.
Actually, what I heard was that he was like jumping around the stage like a monkey.
But good fun.
Rowena, you bring out such a good point about the spirit of aloha and how it's more than just good, hello, goodbye, and as a cultural ambassador on board ship, sharing that with the tourists and people that are on board is a wonderful way of sharing that, and Bubba, you and I were talking about, during this time of realizing that we still are blessed in so many ways. Yeah, Bubba?
Mm-hmm. Yes, amen.
And
every way.
Yeah. Bubba, talk to us a little bit about, some of the blessings really that we do have, and, where that all comes from, and how it helps us and our families really to put things in perspective, really from a spiritual point of view.
Well, us as children of God, we all believe in Jesus. We all believe that God created us for one purpose, and that's to serve him. Now, with all the negativity going on, I try to bring positive. That's why I do sometimes. I share on Facebook. I do my videos, because to the fact that people need to, not want to, they need to hear the positive. They need to hear and know that God is still with them. God is always there. And, Kamaka, we've out many times, bro. That Akua is always there with us. And I wanted to share a little something. From the book. Psalms 91, you know, with all this stuff that is going on, you know, that's why we're doing this thing here on the Porch, you know, with Otto, with the Hui, and you know, and all jokes aside, I just want people to know that God's protection is in the midst of what we face here today. All this man-made stuff that you hear, the coronavirus, the SARS, the Ebola, whatever the situation may be, we have overcome a lot in our life, and we face trials and tribulations. We face ups, we face downs. You know, listening to Rowena talk about, you know, sharing the aloha on the ship. She's spreading her mana'o. She's a blessing to other people. Kamaka, you're a blessing to other people when you vala'o talk to her. Each and every one of us here is a blessing to somebody in need. When we least expect it, we are a blessing. You know, Brother Lono, you do what you do. Mr. Nalo'ai and the rest of the musicians that share your mana'o through your music, show your love through your music. Boy, son, you do what you do at work. You try your best to be a blessing to other people that you meet. You know, so in Psalms 91, it says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him will I trust." It kind of I get a little the heart little bit weak little bit, because I know I see people hurting, see people hoarding, see people doing all kind of negative stuff. But I know in my heart, God's gonna get us through this. And you know,
You know, one of the things, go ahead.
Go ahead, sis.
Okay, I was going to give you a chance to breathe. One of the things that I try to remind not just the guests on the ship who don't know, but even us local folks, you know, I mean, over the years, you know, we lose so much along the way, especially because we visit so many other places and so many other people. But what we forget is whether we're giving aloha or whether we're receiving aloha, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. Everything we say, everything we do, it's aloha, whether it's giving or taking or receiving. It's all the same, you know, and if we can remember that, then all of a sudden we can appreciate so much more. Because when we receive aloha, we think somebody's giving to us, but it's actually more than that. The mere fact that we're receiving, that means we're allowing somebody else to give their aloha. And every time we give aloha, guess what? It makes us grow as people. We feel so good.
Not that tall.
Yeah, well, Brian started growing outwards instead of upwards.
Well, well, to share a little insight, you know, quickly about myself is that 10 years ago, before I came to California, I was on that path of destruction, and I thought I was done for. But God had other plans for me. God said, "No, my son, I got something for you to do." And I never thought I would be in California, and here I am in California. 10 years later, here, voila, with you guys.
Because you
knowing
stepped
that
up to the plate.
exactly, no matter what we face, God is much bigger. Jesus went to the cross for us. But no matter what we face, with all the negativity, we're going to stay positive. We're going to keep our head up. We're going to keep our eyes focused on Jesus, because He never bring us this far to let us down.
That's
You see
right.
what I'm saying?
And all that negativity just gives us the opportunity to show that much more aloha.
Amen. Amen.
I love
so,
it.
But mahalo,
Yes.
Kamaka, for allowing me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Mahalo for that. Feels good. Feels really, really, really good. Well, my dears, I think we're getting past Kamaka's bedtime over here. You know, when I get past my
I know
bedtime.
the wife texting me right now.
Kamaka, it's sunny where you stay. It's still daylight.
Just a real quick note over here. You know, Rowena has written a book called Random Acts of Aloha. Random Acts of Aloha, Rowena Vasquez, and you can find it on Amazon.com. And if you'd like to pick up her book, go to Amazon.com. Random Acts of Aloha. I want to share that as well. In fact, I had a couple of messages from folks. I don't know if they reached out to you or not. They went to your website. They said, "Oh, can we buy it directly from them because Amazon takes some money and they don't get the full thing?" And I said, "Well, you know, go to their website or message them, and you can talk to them because there's."
I did like messages.
Good.
I'm going straight to the source.
Yeah.
You already have a connection with the source, just different source.
What a pleasure to have all of you on the porch tonight. Good fun, you guys. Did you enjoy yourselves this evening? Everybody had a good time? Yeah?
Yeah.
Mahalo.
Yeah. Cool. I think Brian, we got to do one hana ho. We got to get one hana ho from you, brother Brian, on the way out over here. You play us out. And as you start, I just want to mahalo everybody. Lono, thank you. Boy-san, Bobby Nalawai, thank you. Kamaki and Consuela, what a pleasure to have you on board. Sister Marie and Pualalia I enjoyed your hula, Pualalia. That was beautiful too.
Yeah.
Muriel and Carl, thank you so much. And we appreciate your company here. Nancy, thanks so much for coming and being on board. And hopefully we taken away your fear of Instapot. And that
not me. I don't even cook.
Oh no, that was
Nancy, the only thing I make for dinner is reservations.
Oh.
Hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
Marty, thanks for being on board. Marty, always a pleasure. Marty, thank you so much. And Dan, and I'm getting your name. I'm losing it over here. It's yes.
It's past your bedtime.
It's past my bedtime. I'm sorry. Thank you for being with us. Enjoyed it. And we'll fire up the porch again maybe before the end, as the weekend's over, and invite you all to come and join us. And what a pleasure to come on.
Mahalo, Kamaka.
Mahalo,
I love you all. Stay blessed. Stay humble. Stay pono.
Hui ho. Brian, play for us. Hana ho here, Brian. Let's go, Brian.
E Hawaii e kuone ana ue kuhome ulahiwine olino waina pono nani e Hawaii aloha e hauri na o Hawaii ne e olie Maina ahe makani e pamaine Au ke aloha e haoli na o Hawaii ne olie Aoke aloha, aloha mai.
Mahalo, Brian. That was so awesome.
Awesome.
Hello, you guys.
Ahui ho, everybody. God bless, and we'll see you on the porch really soon.
Healthy.
Peace and love. Peace and love.
Aloha.